Chapter 1, A New Dawn in Willow Springs. The morning sun cast a warm golden hue over the sleepy town of Willow Springs, its rays filtering through the ancient oaks that lined the cobblestone streets. The gentle hum of awakening life accompanied the dawn as the townsfolk began their day. At the corner of Maple and Elm stood a building that was both familiar and new, its fresh coat of paint gleaming in the sunlight, a symbol of change nestled in the heart of tradition. Inside, Dr. Eliza Hartman stood by the window, gazing out at the town she had called home for most of her life. Her hands were busy organizing a display of holistic remedies and traditional tools on a shelf near the entrance. Each item had been carefully selected to reflect her belief in personalized care, a philosophy that had guided her through years of practice. "Do you think they're ready for this?" Eliza asked, turning to her partner, Dr. Jonas Reed, who was engrossed in setting up an array of sleek, modern equipment on the opposite side of the room. Jonas, with his characteristic enthusiasm, adjusted his glasses and flashed a confident smile. "Ready or not, here we come. Besides, isn't that what this clinic is all about? Bridging the gap between old and new?" Eliza chuckled softly. "You make it sound so simple." "It is simple," Jonas replied, moving to stand beside her. "We take what's best from both worlds and create something better." Their conversation was interrupted by the sound of the door chime, announcing the arrival of their first visitor. Ellie Whitmore stepped inside, her presence as vibrant as her floral sundress. In her arms was Whiskers, her aging tabby cat. "Good morning, Ellie," Eliza greeted warmly. "What brings you and Whiskers in so early?" Ellie set Whiskers down gently on the examination table. "Oh, you know how it is, Eliza. Whiskers has been a bit under the weather, and I thought it would be good to get him checked out." Jonas approached, offering a reassuring nod. "We'll take good care of him, Ellie." As Eliza began her examination, Ellie leaned against the counter, watching them with interest. "It's wonderful to see you two working together," she remarked. "There's a story in that, you know." Eliza glanced up, curiosity piqued. "A story?" "Yes," Ellie continued, her eyes twinkling with mischief. "Stories have a way of healing, much like medicine. They remind us of who we are and where we've been." Jonas paused his work to listen more intently. "That's an interesting perspective." Ellie nodded sagely. "It's true. And in a place like Willow Springs, stories are our lifeblood." Eliza smiled as she finished her examination of Whiskers, gently scratching behind his ears. "I suppose you're right, Ellie. Every animal that comes through these doors has its own tale to tell. And it's up to us to listen," Jonas added thoughtfully. With Whiskers contently purring in Ellie's arms once more, the conversation shifted to lighter topics, stories of past adventures and hopes for the future of the clinic. As Ellie prepared to leave, she turned back with a parting thought. "Remember," she said with a wink, "it's not just about what you do here, it's about how you make people feel." Her words lingered in the air long after she had gone, leaving Eliza and Jonas in reflective silence. "You know," Jonas said finally, breaking the quiet, "there's something to what Ellie said about storytelling." Eliza nodded slowly. "Yes, it's something we should keep in mind as we move forward." They continued their preparations in companionable silence, each lost in their own thoughts about the journey ahead. Outside, Willow Springs bustled with life as townspeople went about their routines, unaware yet curious about the changes unfolding within their midst. As the day progressed, Eliza and Jonas found themselves caught up in a whirlwind of activity, greeting clients old and new, attending to their four-legged patients with care and precision. The clinic buzzed with energy, a testament to their shared vision finally taking shape. By afternoon, as they paused for a brief respite, Eliza surveyed their bustling clinic with a sense of accomplishment tempered by lingering uncertainty. "Do you think we're doing enough?" she asked Jonas quietly. Jonas considered her question carefully before responding. "I think we're doing what we set out to do, providing care that respects both tradition and innovation." Eliza smiled at his unwavering confidence. "I suppose you're right." As they resumed their work, the sun began its descent toward the horizon, casting long shadows across Willow Springs and painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. With each passing hour came new challenges and triumphs, moments that would become part of their own story, a narrative woven together by shared experiences and mutual respect. and as night fell over Willow Springs, a gentle reminder that even new beginnings are part of an unending cycle, Eliza and Jonas stood side by side beneath the stars, ready to face whatever lay ahead with open hearts and open minds. Thus began their journey. A new dawn in Willow Springs, a testament to progress fueled by passion and guided by compassion, a promise kept between two healers dedicated to making a difference one story at a time. This was only the beginning, a prologue to countless tales yet untold, but already they could feel it, the quiet assurance that together they could achieve anything they set their minds and hearts upon, a belief born from hope tempered by experience, a truth as enduring as time itself. And so they stood together onward into tomorrow, undaunted by challenges yet unknown, united by purpose and ready for whatever came next. For theirs was not just any partnership. It was a bond forged through understanding and bound by love for animals great and small, and for each other in this place they called home, Willow Springs, a tone like neuther, a sanctuary where dreams took flight and stories found their voice, amidst echoes of laughter and whispers of wisdom from those who came before, and those yet to come, a legacy built up on compassion and carried forth upon wings of change toward brighter horizons beyond. Chapter 2. The Heart of the Matter. The clinic was alive with the hum of activity, an orchestra of barks, meows, and gentle murmurs of reassurance from Eliza and Jonas as they tended to their patients. The newness of the clinic had settled into a comfortable rhythm, and the people of Willow Springs were slowly embracing the blend of tradition and innovation that Eliza and Jonas had envisioned. As the morning unfolded, Eliza found herself pondering the words Ellie had shared about storytelling. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was a deeper connection between the tales people told and the healing they sought. It was a thought that lingered in her mind as she went about her work, weaving its way into her understanding of her role as a healer. Her musings were interrupted by the soft jingle of the doorbell. Maeve Thornton, the town's herbalist, entered with her usual grace, carrying a basket brimming with fragrant herbs and wildflowers. Her presence was a soothing balm, bringing with it the earthy scent of nature that always seemed to accompany her. "Good morning, Maeve," Eliza greeted warmly, setting aside her thoughts for the moment. Maeve smiled, her eyes twinkling with an ancient wisdom. "Good morning, Eliza. I thought I'd bring by some fresh supplies. I have a new batch of chamomile and lavender, perfect for calming anxious pets." Eliza accepted the basket gratefully. "You're a lifesaver, Maeve. These will be wonderful for our more nervous patients." As they arranged the herbs on a shelf near the window, Maeve glanced at Eliza thoughtfully. "How are you finding this balance between old and new? It's quite a task you've set for yourself." Eliza paused, her hands lingering over a sprig of rosemary. "It's challenging," she admitted. "I believe in what we're doing here, but sometimes I wonder if we're losing something important in our pursuit of progress." Maeve nodded, her expression understanding. "It's easy to get swept up in the excitement of technology and forget the simple things that have served us well for generations." "Exactly," Eliza replied, relieved to voice her concerns. "I don't want to lose that personal touch, those connections that make each visit more than just a transaction." Maeve placed a reassuring hand on Eliza's shoulder. "You'll find your way, Eliza. Just remember that every choice you make is part of your story and the story of this place." Their conversation was interrupted by Jonas calling from across the room, his voice tinged with curiosity and enthusiasm. "Eliza, you have to see this." Eliza excused herself from Maeve and crossed the room to where Jonas stood beside a state-of-the-art diagnostic machine. Its sleek design was a stark contrast to the rustic charm of the clinic, yet it fit seamlessly into their vision. "What is it?" Eliza asked, intrigued. Jonas gestured to the screen displaying detailed imaging results. "This new software can identify patterns we might miss with the naked eye. It's incredible how much more we can learn about our patients with just a few clicks." Eliza studied the screen, impressed despite herself. "It is impressive," she admitted, "but does it tell us anything about how our patients are feeling?" Jonas considered her question, his brow furrowing slightly. "Not directly, no, but it gives us data that can help us understand their physical state better than ever before." "And yet," Eliza countered gently, "there's something about looking into an animal's eyes and knowing what they need without all this technology." Their philosophical debate was interrupted by another visitor, Mari Dawson, owner of Willow Springs' beloved apothecary. She entered with her usual air of curiosity and mischief, her hands tucked into the pockets of her apron. "Mari?" Jonas greeted her with genuine warmth. "What brings you here today?" Mari grinned, her eyes sparkling with humor. "I heard there was a debate about technology versus tradition happening here, and I couldn't resist adding my 2 cents. Eliza laughed, welcoming Mari into their circle. "We're always glad to hear your thoughts, Mari." Mari leaned against the counter, arms crossed casually as she surveyed the clinic's blend of old-world charm and modern innovation. "You know," she began thoughtfully, "technology is like any other tool. It's all about how you use it, and whether it serves or detracts from your purpose." Jonas nodded in agreement. "Exactly. It's not about replacing what we have, but enhancing it." "But," Mari added with a knowing smile, "it's also important to remember that some things can't be quantified or digitized, like intuition and empathy." Eliza felt a sense of relief wash over her at Mari's words. It was a reminder that while technology offered many benefits, it was not a substitute for the human elements that made their work meaningful. Their conversation meandered through various topics, stories of patients who had touched their hearts, and moments when intuition had guided them more effectively than any machine ever could. As midday approached, Maeve bid them farewell, leaving behind an atmosphere enriched by her gentle wisdom. Mari lingered a while longer, engaging Jonas in animated discussions about potential collaborations between their practices, exploring ways technology could complement natural remedies. Meanwhile, Eliza returned to her duties with renewed clarity, determined to find harmony between tradition and innovation within their clinic. The afternoon sun cast long shadows across Willow Springs as Eliza stepped outside for a breath of fresh air, a momentary escape from the bustle inside. She watched as townspeople went about their daily routines, each person carrying their own stories woven into the fabric of this community, a tapestry rich with history, yet open to change. In that moment, beneath the sprawling oak trees lining Maple Street, Eliza understood that every choice she made was part of something larger, an narrative unfolding one chapter at a time, a story shaped by those who came before and those yet to come, a testament not only to progress but also to perseverance and, above all else, to compassion, for animals great and small, and for each other. In this place they called home, Willow Springs, a sanctuary where dreams took flight, and voices found their care amid echoes of tradition, and whispers of wisdom from those who knew them best. Ashir entered the clinic, rejuvenated by both nature's embrace and newfound resolve. Eliza felt ready for whatever lay ahead, undaunted by challenges yet unknown, united by purpose, and ready for whatever came next. For theirs was not just any partnership. It was a bond forged through understanding, and bound by love, for animals great and small, and for each other, in this place they called home, a legacy built up on compassion, and carried forth upon wings of change, toward brighter horizons. Beyond. Chapter 3. Echoes of Tradition. The town hall of Willow Springs was a modest building, its wooden floors creaking under the weight of generations. It stood as a testament to the town's enduring spirit, a place where decisions were made and stories were shared. Today it buzzed with anticipation, the air thick with the murmur of voices and the scent of freshly brewed coffee. Eliza and Jonas arrived early, eager to set up their presentation. The gathering was a chance to present their vision for the clinic to the townspeople, to share their successes and address concerns. As they arranged their materials, Eliza couldn't help but feel a mix of excitement and apprehension. This was more than just a meeting. It was a dialogue with the community that had become the heart of their practice. Jonas adjusted the projector, his usual confidence tinged with a hint of nervousness. "Do you think they'll be receptive?" he asked, glancing at Eliza. She smiled reassuringly. "We've been transparent about our goals from the start. They know we're here to listen as much as we are to speak." As the room filled, familiar faces settled into the worn wooden chairs. Ellie Whitmore waved from the front row, whiskers comfortably nestled in her lap. Maeve Thornton sat beside her, a serene presence amidst the growing crowd. Mari Dawson took a seat near the back, her eyes twinkling with curiosity. The mayor of Willow Springs, a kindly man named Harold Green, called the meeting to order with a gentle rap of his gavel. "Thank you all for coming," he began, his voice carrying easily across the room. "We're here today to discuss an important aspect of our community, our beloved animals, and those who care for them. Eliza and Jonas exchanged a nod before stepping forward. Eliza began, her voice steady yet warm. Thank you, Mayor Green. As many of you know, Jonas and I opened our clinic with the goal of combining tradition and innovation in veterinary care. Jonas took over seamlessly. We've seen wonderful results with our new technologies, but we've also learned the value of maintaining personal connections, something that Willow Springs has taught us time and again. Ellie raised her hand, her enthusiasm evident. I can vouch for that. Whiskers has never been happier since we started coming to your clinic. Laughter rippled through the room, easing the tension and setting a positive tone for the discussion. Maeve spoke next, her voice calm and measured. I've seen how Eliza and Jonas respect our traditions while introducing new methods. It's a balance that serves our community well. The conversation flowed freely, each comment reflecting the unique perspectives of Willow Springs residents. Some expressed excitement about the technological advancements, while others voiced concerns about losing touch with the personal aspects of care. Just as the discussion seemed to reach a lull, a tall figure rose from the back, a local farmer named Samuel Hayes. Known for his quiet demeanor and deep connection to the land, his words often carried weight. I have a story, he began, his voice resonant in the hushed room, about my old dog, Rusty. Eliza and Jonas exchanged curious glances as Samuel continued. Rusty was part of our family for years. When he fell ill, I brought him to Eliza. She didn't just treat him, she listened, to him and to me. It wasn't just about medicine, it was about understanding. His words hung in the air, touching something deep within Eliza. She remembered Rusty well, a gentle soul who had taught her as much as she had healed him. Samuel's gaze swept across the room. Technology is fine, but it's that human touch, that listening, that truly heals. A respectful silence followed his story, echoing with unspoken agreement. Jonas cleared his throat, visibly moved. Thank you, Samuel. Stories like yours remind us why we do what we do. Eliza nodded, feeling a renewed sense of purpose. Samuel's story was a powerful reminder that while technology could enhance their work, it was empathy and understanding that truly defined their practice. The meeting continued with renewed energy, each participant contributing to the evolving narrative of Willow Springs veterinary care. As it drew to a close, Mayor Green thanked everyone for their input and encouraged ongoing dialogue. As people began to disperse, Eliza felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned to see Samuel smiling warmly at her. Thank you for listening, he said simply. Eliza returned his smile, gratitude swelling in her chest. Thank you for sharing your story. Jonas joined them, his expression thoughtful yet hopeful. It's stories like these that guide us forward. As they left the town hall together, Eliza felt lighter, her earlier apprehension replaced by a sense of clarity and direction. The echoes of tradition were not just reminders of the past, but guiding lights for their future. Walking back through Willow Springs under the fading light of day, Eliza and Jonas spoke quietly about what lay ahead. They understood now that their journey was not just about blending technology with tradition, it was about weaving those threads into a tapestry that honored both progress and history. As they reached the clinic's familiar doors once more, stepping inside where stories awaited to be told anew, they knew one thing for certain. In this town where dreams took flight and voices found their care, their work was just beginning, and it would be guided always by echoes of tradition from those who knew them best. Chapter 4. Crossroads of Innovation. The afternoon sun shone brightly over Willow Springs, casting a golden glow across the cobblestone streets. The clinic was unusually quiet, save for the rhythmic ticking of the clock and the soft hum of equipment. Eliza sat in her office, surrounded by patient files and the comforting scent of Maeve's herbs. She was lost in thought, reflecting on the town hall meeting and Samuel's poignant story about Rusty. It had been a reminder of the importance of listening, not just with ears, but with the heart. Meanwhile, Jonas was in the tech room, fine-tuning the clinic's new diagnostic software. He was engrossed in his work, adjusting parameters and updating systems with his characteristic enthusiasm. The hum of technology surrounded him, a symphony of progress that he found both exhilarating and reassuring. Suddenly, without warning, the lights flickered and went out. The gentle whir of machines ceased, plunging the clinic into an unexpected silence. Eliza looked up from her desk, her heart skipping a beat as she realized what had happened. A power outage. "Jonas?" she called, rising from her chair and making her way toward the tech room. Her voice echoed slightly in the dim hallway. Jonas emerged from the shadows, flashlight in hand, his expression one of mild frustration tempered by curiosity. "Looks like we've hit a snag," he said, his tone light despite the situation. Eliza joined him, her own flashlight casting long shadows on the walls. "Any idea what caused it?" Jonas shook his head. "Could be anything. A blown fuse or something more serious. Either way, we're offline until we figure it out." The clinic's dependence on technology became glaringly apparent in that moment. Without power, their state-of-the-art equipment was useless, a stark reminder of its limitations. "Well," Eliza said with a sigh, "we'll just have to rely on good old-fashioned methods for now." They moved through the clinic together, checking on their patients and reassuring clients who called in with concerns. Despite the setback, Eliza felt a strange sense of calm. It was as if the universe had given them a moment to pause and reflect on their path. As they regrouped in the main office, Maeve and Mari arrived, drawn by news of the outage. Maeve carried a lantern that filled the room with a warm, flickering light, while Mari brought a basket of snacks, an impromptu picnic to lighten the mood. "Looks like you could use some company," Mari said cheerfully, setting the basket on the table. Eliza smiled gratefully. "Thank you both for coming. It's nice to have some extra hands." Maeve set her lantern down, casting a soft glow over their faces. "Times like these remind us of the value of simplicity," she mused. Jonas nodded, his earlier frustration giving way to thoughtful reflection. "It's easy to forget how much we rely on technology until it's taken away." Mari chuckled softly. "And yet here we are, still able to care for our patients without all the bells and whistles." Their conversation flowed easily as they shared stories and laughter amidst candlelight. The crisis had brought them closer together, highlighting their collective strengths and shared dedication to their work. As they talked, Eliza found herself considering how this moment fit into their larger journey. A crossroads where innovation met tradition in unexpected ways. The power outage had stripped away distractions, leaving only what truly mattered, their commitment to their patients and each other. After some time, Jonas excused himself to check on the power situation again. He returned shortly with good news. "I've managed to get in touch with the utility company," he announced. "They should have everything back up and running by morning." Relief washed over them all, though they knew their work wasn't done yet. There were still patients to tend to and preparations to make for when operations resumed. As Maeve and Mari prepared to leave, Eliza thanked them once more for their support. "We couldn't have managed without you," she said sincerely. Maeve smiled gently. "We're all part of this community, here to help each other through whatever comes our way." Mari added with a wink, "Besides, what's life without a little adventure now and then?" With renewed determination, Eliza and Jonas set about organizing their tasks for the remainder of the day, taking solace in knowing they weren't alone in facing challenges. Later that evening, after Maeve and Mari had gone home, Eliza and Jonas sat together in companionable silence under the soft glow of lantern light. "You know," Eliza said thoughtfully, "today reminded me that while technology is important, it isn't everything." Jonas nodded slowly. "I agree. It's moments like these that show us where true strength lies, in our ability to adapt and support each other." Their words hung in the air, an unspoken agreement forged through shared experience, a promise to balance innovation with intuition as they moved forward together. As night fell over Willow Springs, casting its familiar blanket of stars across the sky, Eliza felt grateful for this unexpected pause, a chance to reevaluate what truly mattered amidst life's complexities, a crossroads where paths converged and new possibilities emerged from within. Together they embraced this journey, undaunted by future uncertainties, united by purpose, and ready for whatever came next. For theirs was not just any partnership, it was a bond forged through understanding and bound by love, for animals great and small, and for each other. In this place they called home, a legacy built upon compassion and carried forth upon wings of change toward brighter horizons beyond. Chapter 5. Whispers of Wisdom. The evening air was cool and crisp as Eliza and Jonas made their way to Ellie Whitmore's cozy cottage on the outskirts of Willow Springs. The path was illuminated by the soft glow of lanterns hung from the branches of ancient oaks, guiding them through the twilight. It was a perfect night for storytelling, a tradition Ellie cherished and had invited them to partake in. Ellie's home was a reflection of her vibrant personality, with its cheerful garden brimming with wildflowers and whimsical sculptures. As they approached, the scent of freshly baked bread wafted through the air, mingling with the earthy aroma of the surrounding woods. "Welcome, welcome," Ellie greeted them at the door, her eyes twinkling with warmth. "I'm so glad you could make it." Eliza and Jonas entered, shedding their coats and taking in the inviting atmosphere. The living room was a tapestry of memories, with photographs and keepsakes adorning every surface. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting a golden glow across the room. "Thank you for having us," Eliza said, accepting a cup of spiced cider from Ellie. "This is just what we needed after the past few days." Jonas nodded in agreement, his earlier tension easing away. "Yes, it's nice to take a break and enjoy some good company." Ellie led them to a circle of comfortable chairs arranged around the fireplace. Maeve and Mari were already seated, engaged in a lively discussion about the latest town gossip. They greeted Eliza and Jonas with warm smiles, making space for them in their midst. As they settled in, Ellie clapped her hands together. "Now, who's ready for some stories?" The group chuckled, eager to hear Ellie's tales. She had a gift for storytelling, her words painting vivid pictures that transported listeners to different times and places. Ellie began with an anecdote from her days as a journalist, recounting an adventure that involved tracking down a lost dog in the bustling streets of New York City. Her tale was filled with humor and heart, highlighting the importance of perseverance and empathy. As she spoke, Eliza found herself reflecting on the parallels between Ellie's story and their work at the clinic. Both required patience and understanding, a willingness to listen beyond words. When Ellie finished, Maeve shared a story of her own, an old folk tale about a wise fox who taught a village to live in harmony with nature. Her gentle voice carried the essence of the forest, reminding them all of the interconnectedness between humans and animals. Mari followed with a humorous account of a mischievous squirrel that had once taken up residence in her apothecary, much to the delight and occasional frustration of her customers. Her story was a testament to adaptability and finding joy in unexpected moments. As laughter filled the room, Eliza felt a sense of camaraderie and kinship with these women, each bringing their unique wisdom to the circle. It was a reminder that their community was built on shared experiences and mutual support. Jonas leaned back in his chair, his eyes thoughtful as he listened to each tale. He realized that these stories were more than just entertainment. They were lessons in resilience and understanding. Eventually, Ellie turned to Eliza and Jonas, her expression expectant. "Do you have any stories to share?" Eliza hesitated for a moment before speaking. "I remember one patient, an old Labrador named Max. He came to us with a host of ailments, but what struck me most was his spirit. Despite everything, he remained gentle and loving." Jonas nodded, recalling Max's visits to the clinic. "I remember how he would wag his tail every time he saw Eliza. It was as if he knew she was there to help him." Eliza continued softly, "Caring for Max taught me that healing isn't just about medicine. It's about being present and offering comfort when it's needed most." Her words resonated with the group, echoing sentiments they all understood deeply. As the evening wore on, they shared more stories, each one weaving threads of wisdom into the fabric of their gathering. The fire crackled softly, its warmth embracing them like an old friend. Eventually, as the hour grew late, Ellie rose to refill their mugs one last time. "Thank you all for sharing tonight," she said with genuine gratitude. "These stories remind us of who we are and what we can achieve together." Eliza smiled at her friend, feeling grateful for this evening spent in such good company. It had been a balm for her soul, a chance to reconnect with what truly mattered amid life's complexities. As they prepared to leave, Jonas paused by the door, turning back to Ellie. "Tonight has shown me how our different approaches can complement each other," he admitted thoughtfully. Ellie nodded knowingly. "You see, stories have power. they bring us together by revealing our common ground. With hearts full of newfound understanding and spirits lifted by laughter and companionship, Eliza and Jonas bid farewell to their friends before stepping out into the night once more. The walk back through Willow Springs was peaceful under starlit skies, a journey marked not by distance but by connection, a testament to friendships forged through shared stories and whispers of wisdom passed down through generations. As they reached their clinic on Samor, standing beneath familiar stars, they knew that this chapter in their journey was far from over, but rather just beginning anew, with renewed purpose and strengthened bonds, ready for whatever lay ahead. For theirs was not just any partnership, it was a bond forged through understanding and bound by love, for animals great and small, and for each other, in this place they called home, a legacy built up on compassion and carried forth upon wings of change, toward brighter horizons. Chapter 6, Harmony and Healing. The sun rose over Willow Springs, casting a warm glow that promised a day of celebration. Today marked a new chapter for Eliza Hartman and Jonas Reed, a day when their vision for the clinic would come to full fruition. The air buzzed with anticipation as townspeople gathered at the newly renovated clinic, eager to witness the culmination of months of hard work and collaboration. Eliza stood by the entrance, her heart swelling with pride as she surveyed the scene. Banners fluttered gently in the breeze, proclaiming harmony and healing above the doorway. Tables were laden with refreshments, and a small stage had been set up for speeches and presentations. The scent of Maeve's herbs mingled with the aroma of freshly baked goods from the local bakery, creating an inviting atmosphere. Jonas joined her, his expression one of satisfaction, mixed with a touch of nervous energy. "Everything's ready," he said, adjusting his glasses and scanning the crowd. "I can't believe we've come this far." Eliza smiled, squeezing his hand reassuringly. "It's amazing what we've accomplished together, and today is just the beginning." As guests began to arrive, familiar faces greeted them with warmth and enthusiasm. Ellie Whitmore was among the first, whiskers perched regally on her shoulder. Maeve Thornton and Mary Dawson arrived shortly after, their presence a comforting reminder of the community's support. Mayor Harold Green took to the stage, calling for attention with his gentle authority. "Welcome, everyone, to this special occasion," he began, his voice carrying easily across the gathering. "Today, we celebrate not just a clinic, but a vision, one that blends tradition and innovation to serve our beloved animals and their families." Applause rippled through the crowd as Eliza and Jonas stepped forward to address their friends and neighbors. Eliza spoke first, her voice steady yet filled with emotion. "Thank you all for being here today. This journey has been one of growth and discovery, not just for Jonas and me, but for our entire community." Jonas continued seamlessly, his passion evident in every word. "We've learned so much from each of you about the importance of listening, of balancing progress with compassion. Our goal is to create a space where every creature receives the care they deserve." Their words were met with enthusiastic applause, a testament to the town's embrace of their shared dream. It was a moment that encapsulated everything they had worked for, a harmonious blend of voices coming together in celebration. As the formalities concluded, Ellie approached them with a beaming smile. "You've done something wonderful here," she said warmly. "I knew from the start that your partnership would bring great things to Willow Springs." Eliza felt a swell of gratitude for Ellie's unwavering belief in them. "Thank you, Ellie. Your stories and support have been invaluable." Jonas nodded in agreement. "Yes, you've helped us see how our different approaches can complement one another." Maeve joined them, her eyes twinkling with wisdom. "You've created more than just a clinic. It's a sanctuary where healing happens on many levels." Mari added with her usual humor. "And it's about time someone brought some excitement to this town." Laughter bubbled up among them, easing any lingering nerves and reinforcing the bonds that had formed over time. As the festivities continued, Eliza and Jonas took a moment to step back and observe the fruits of their labor. The clinic was bustling with activity, townsfolk mingling with pets in tow, sharing stories and laughter under the bright autumn sky. It was a scene that embodied everything they had hoped to achieve, a place where technology enhanced care without overshadowing personal connection, a sanctuary where both animals and humans could find solace. Later in the afternoon, as guests began to depart with smiles and well wishes, Eliza and Jonas found themselves alone in the quiet aftermath of celebration. Standing side by side beneath the banner that proclaimed harmony and healing, they reflected on their journey thus far, a path marked by challenges and triumphs alike. "You know," Eliza said softly, gazing out at the familiar streets of Willow Springs bathed in golden light, "we've come a long way since we first opened those doors." Jonas nodded thoughtfully. "And we've learned so much along the way about each other and ourselves." Their eyes met, an unspoken understanding passing between them, born from shared experiences forged through collaboration and compromise, a bond strengthened by mutual respect and love for what they did. In that moment, standing together amidst echoes of tradition and whispers of wisdom, they knew that this was only the beginning, a prologue to countless tales yet untold. But already they could feel it, the quiet assurance that together they could achieve anything they set their minds and hearts upon, a belief born from hope tempered by experience, a truth as enduring as time itself. As evening descended over Willow Springs, casting long shadows across cobblestone streets, the two healers stood united, undaunted by challenges yet unknown, ready for whatever came next, for theirs was not just any partnership, it was a bond forged through understanding and bound by love, for animals great and small, and for each other, in this place they called home, a legacy built upon compassion, and carried forth upon wings of change toward brighter horizons beyond. And so they embraced this new chapter with open hearts, guided always by harmony and healing, and driven ever onward by dreams yet realized,